Hello, hi, hey. I'm a mess today. Hi, Dave. Hi. I was in two minds whether or not to stream today, and I decided, you know what, fuck it. How are y'all? Well, I have an appointment tomorrow to go and pay respects to my mum. So I've got that. Which sucks. But I feel like it needs to be done. Thanks. So today has been a little bit of a self-care day. I've been doing some crocheting, little bit of pampering, and no, watch, no, why are you like this? No, go, shoo. And actually that reminds me, I had another try. So yesterday I decided to bake a where's my focuses on this? So sorry, I don't know things. So yeah, basically I baked a baked banana bread. Actually way easier than I thought it was gonna be. It turns out pre-measuring stuff actually does help, but Jesus Christ, you end up with a ton of mess. I think in the next couple of days I might add, I have added some used stuff to my wish list on Throne, but I think I might actually add a couple of bacon and crochet things on there as well. I'm just going ham on it, to be honest with you, just throwing stuff in there. But I got a few card things that I've been sorted, so got a nice lovely steering wheel cover, the ornament, and a new roadmap, because it actually turns out the roadmap in the car I inherited, that roadmap is from 2009. That roadmap is 15 years old, so I was just like, no, we need to update that. Yeah, right? And my dad was like, well, you've got modern technology, you can use your phone to find maps. And I was like, well, first of all, that's fine and good, but what if your battery dies? If your battery dies, you're fucked, aren't you? So yeah, you can have it plugged in. But here's the thing, the car I've inherited is 22 years old. It's so old that adapters to fit into it basically has an old radio that still takes CDs. There's no USBs in the car. It doesn't have like electronic dashboard, it's just like a plain analog one. Because the radio is a CD player radio, it's not not even a digital one. And the cigarette holder, yes, things do fit into it, but the adapters, I've got two adapters for USBs and neither of them work. So I need a roadmap in that car. Just in case of an emergency. It's just handy to have it there. Yeah, that's exactly why. So yeah, the car was built in 2002. When my mum bought it, I think it was about 4 or 5 years old. But yeah, it's officially 22 years old. But you do have one other suggestion. If it's gonna be buy a new car, I'm timing you out, Dave. Because unfortunately I can't afford another car at the moment. I am gonna look at having having a phone holder for the car eventually, but the roadmap's just handy to have at the moment. It's not like I'm going very far, so I don't necessarily need stuff like that, but I'm just building it up as I go along. But anyway, game. Because speaking of cars, do more Back to the Future. I think we've only got one level left to do. Ooh, excuse me. Do have one more campaign to do. Sorry. I don't know where that came from. But no, eventually, foldable battery, dedicated to using the phone in the car, plug it into your phone. Oh no, I've already got one of those. I've already got one that I usually put into a bag. Actually, that's probably a good idea, keeping one in the car. But all the same, it doesn't hurt, because even then, you do have limited battery life. And if that thing runs out, again, you're fucked. But that's not a bad suggestion. I will accept that. You're not getting timed out for that. But eventually I do want to get a new car. But not for a couple of years at least. Okay. Hey pal, thanks for fitting us in again. We're wrapping up the third and final, and we do mean final film now, and boy is the scheduling getting tight. We went back to Wild West in this one, which naturally means we've got a time-travelling steam locomotive. How's this not going to ride those timelines? We're not sure what's happened, but the time train looks like it's being driven through a rainbow. Don't know if that has anything to do with the multicoloured logs that we used in an earlier scene to get the Old West train up to 88 miles an hour. Regardless, we need a clean for our next shot. I'll leave you to it. You know what you're doing. And thanks a lot. Hell yeah. Yeah, the only problem is with updating the car, like getting a brand new Mini. Because I do want to stick with the Minis. I love those cars so much. And to be fair, that car has had very few issues for 22 years old. Like, it's barely had any problems. A little bit of wear and tear, but nothing that's like impacted the driving. And I do want to stick with, but the problem is a lot of the cars that I've seen that are for sale at the moment seem to be the newer Minis, which are like the full, like they're this equivalent to a full-size standard car. You're on TV. Hi, Kaza's TV. Hello, people in Kaza's place. I'm Kaza. Hello, hi. I'm on TV. I'm famous. How you doing, Kaza? We're talking about cars. We're talking about cars, specifically Minis. And yeah, we're cleaning a train. Ooh, look at this thing. So cool. I'm having a wonder. I want to see things. One thing I did for my car was get a touchscreen radio. I think that's one that gave map. Yeah, this car does not even have a place for a touchscreen. Like, it's that old. Hello again, looks like this is going to be our last job together. It's the final scene of the entire trilogy. Oh no! That means it's the end of the DLC. I've seen the TikToks by the Powerwash Sim devs, and they were just like, "Oh, put on some metal music and do some headbanger. It works." I was just like, "That's actually kind of tempting." Like, but yeah, anything. This looks like a giant ass like job, but then it like takes like an hour to finish. With something, something, love your face. Hey, Roll! How you doing? We're talking about cars and Mini Coopers. Actually, my Mini's not a Mini Cooper, but it's a Mini 1. It's one of the older ones. God, I remember when the range of Minis came out. When the inherited Mini was still quite relatively newer. There was... oh, what was it? There was 2 Mini Coopers that I absolutely fell in love with, but they were like pretty much like top of the range Minis at the time. And I can't remember what one of them was called, but the other one of them was called a Mini Mayfair. And I think the other one was named something similar, like a very Britishy name. But I don't remember for the life of me what it was, but they were absolutely gorgeous cars. Like decoratively and everything. I was just like, oh, I love those cars. What year is my car? It's an 02. Yeah. It's a mini one. Type of cars, black, blue, red, that fancy green one. Well, mine's typically British. Mine's a mini. I mean, you can't miss a mini. It's a cute little thing. I don't know about you, but this is exactly how I'd expect a time machine to look if it were made by an inventor who travelled into the future before coming stuck back in 1885. See, I told you he was stuck there. But did you guys listen to me? No! Oh, well, he does get the time travelling train, yeah, but he was initially stuck in that period. Think that might have been a spoiler? Yes, it was, my dude. Looks at dashboard. Oh, I see. Yes, yeah. Now you see what I mean. Do you like minis? They are practical. They are very... You know what it is, right? I've only really driven... well, I've driven, like, learner cars as well. I've driven a Vauxhall Corsa, which was my brother's school car. I've driven... I think I've driven 2 Renault Clios and the Mini, and I would have to say, out of all the cars, the most comfortable one I've been in is the Mini. It's just feels the most comfortable to drive. It's just a fun car. Not gonna lie, like out of all of them, I've enjoyed driving that one the most. It's taken some time to get over the anxiety, mind. But that car's got so much personality. You do make touchscreens for them. Yeah, but, I mean... as I said... First of all, I'm gonna get a phone adapter, so eventually I will be able to put, like, a phone holder, put my phone in. Second of all, is there really any point if I intend on just keeping it for a couple of years first and then selling it? Because it's going to cost quite a bit of money to get a touchscreen in. And I'd rather keep the money towards the new car. I'm thinking practically here, which is with money, which is a first. I mean, it would be a shame to sell it eventually, but no, I've no intentions on changing anything. To be fair, if anything, it does need better speakers in that car because Jesus Christ, the bass is so bad. But no intentions of selling it yet. but absolutely do not want to waste my money at the same time. Yeah, sensible decisions. I don't need a touchscreen. It's not life or death to have one in the car. It really, really isn't. Especially if I'm gonna have a phone holder in there eventually. I'd just use my mobile for stuff. And then I'll have my little map to help me back me up if I get a bit stuck anywhere I shouldn't be. But no, that car's been good to my mum for so many years. Just hope it's good to me too. Okay, so cool. I wonder if the IRL version still exists. That could be something to look up, actually. I think it... Was it not... Well, I suppose actually there would have been a prop because it stood on it, wouldn't it? Could be something to look up, though. I know the hoverboard still exists. The second movie. Actually, it was in the third one as well. That got sold on auction for $500,000. Which is an insane amount of money. Yeah, I think it's, I'm sure it was about, I saw on the telly it was about $500,000 because we're talking about movie memorabilia. A couple of days ago, actually, I think it was the last time I was live. That day, they just mentioned about it. But yeah, $500,000 apparently was how much the hoverboard went for. Movie memorabilia, if you have it, it goes for an insane amount of money depending on how iconic the movie was. Like, even toys in some cases. Like, one of my mum's biggest regrets was getting rid of my brother's old Star Wars toys. Because even though they didn't have the original boxes, she said that she could have still made loads of money off them. I think my mum even said that you had like a AT-AT, a Millennium Falcon. Like, my brother was obsessed with Star Wars. Actually, speaking of my brother, it's actually... Oh, hello. I've got a boy in here. It's actually my brother's birthday today. So happy birthday to Scrappy too. He's actually coming back to the UK in a couple of days, so we'll be able to celebrate with him then. Give me a moment. Little fella, you can't just open me door and piss off. Are you gonna come in here or what? Come on. Where are you? Bailey? 1 second. Scrappy Bro, I like that. Brother Moth, yes. What's happened? Because I haven't put my headphones in, but happy birthday. Yeah, it's my brother's birthday today. We're just talking about Star Wars memorabilia, and I just threw that mention in there. So Scrappy 2's old. And he's coming back in a couple of days for the funeral, but I did actually bake some brownies for him. So there's also banana bread to be had. He doesn't know about the brownies, but he did ask if I could make him apple crumble when he got here. I was just like, fine. I'll make you an apple crumble. But yeah, I made him brownies. He doesn't know that I made him brownies. He's also welcome to the banana bread too. So Success is on display at Universal Studios Orlando, though the rear carriage is gone and has some sun damage. Right. Yeah, sun damage is expected if it's being exposed out in the sun for some time. This earlier this week. Nice! It's been on loads on the telly over here. Over Christmas and New Year. Time Train is based on the legendary Sierra Railway No. 3 locomotive, which is a total Hollywood legend in its own right. Ooh, fun facts, guys. We got fun facts here. Like the career of any true movie star, it's been derailed, marked for scrapping, but has always come back stronger. Ouch. Jesus. A bit heavy on the real talk there, but I suppose you're not. Fucking hell. Ah, there it is, a flux capacitor. Are you gonna clean for me, buddy? Gonna clean. I do like that it's at the front of the train as well. I know, that was some real talk though, wasn't it? But again, were they wrong? Also, apologies for Borks as well. I am expecting some mail to turn up and the dogs are just having a... Oh, I just noticed the front of the train. I don't know what the L stands for, but Emmett Brown. Nice. Nice little touch. Nick a train, make it your own. I like little details like that. Walks are allowed? Yeah. No, I just gotta give the heads up just in case, because I know Roll has agoraphobia with dogs, that's all. They're usually no bother, but yeah, I think it's just because today there's just been a lot of activity outside the house, it's just been a little bit awry. They're little but loud. all them pipes cleaned. Let me clean your pipes. Oh dear. I'm getting some stomach pains. You know what it is, right? So... a few days, well actually a couple of weeks ago when my mum just passed, I did of course get hit hard to the point where my appetite was lost and like I was struggling to actually eat. I'm okay now. I will confess that just for your peace of mind. I am okay, but it does happen. But ever since, anytime I eat spicy food, for some reason, it does not agree with me very well now. And I did have a green Thai curry just before I came on stream, so yeah, it's just giving me a few little stabbing pains, which is not good. I don't like that. Definitely not the banana bread though, because the banana bread, I ate that yesterday, I was fine, but I know it's spicy food, because every time I eat spicy food at the moment, it's not great. I don't mind the spicy, but the stomach does. That's fun. And I clean the pipes. I know, it was satisfying, wasn't it? Uh-oh. Well, I like that they give you multiple ladders, so whee! No, I will be honest with you, like, this whole experience of having to deal with major life changes and stuff is kind of aiding and putting things into a little bit of a perspective for me. What that means, I don't know, but like, it's kind of making me think like, you know when you have those epiphanies where you think, what the hell am I doing with my life? I'm not thinking of doing anything drastic, but I am thinking of like being a bit better at saving up money, maybe doing some traveling and like trying solo traveling as well. Like I haven't thought about anything major, certainly not traveling in the next year anywhere far, but like I'm thinking to myself like, what if I tried like just going somewhere around the UK first for like a night or two and seeing how that goes and stuff. Like it's a big jump, but just things like that. It's funny how that works, like oh, you finally decided to come. Are you coming to wrestle me rug again? Hey. I'll see you. He just took one look at me, huffed at me, and just walked off. Little bugger. Yeah. That little guy is a bigger bitch than me. He's just so sassy. Suppose when you're only a 1.5 feet tall, you kind of want to be sassy with everybody, don't you? On the beach. Oh no, I am. In a positive way, I am. Oh, that might be post. I don't think that was the postman, but there are feelings which they have and they want to make themselves heard. I apologize, guys. Rah, 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 strangers, yes. People outside the house, alert the house! Alert the house! There are people outside the house! We must make people aware of the people outside the house! Ah! No worries, Roll. Appreciate you being here. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Dog has little dog's big feelings, oh yeah. The best of it is that they're like this, but as soon as people come into the house, Duchess wants all of their attention, and Bailey is a little cautious at first, but then once he realizes people be good, he's very much the same. Are they taking turns barking? Well, Shay goes off first, then he follows. Then she does another book. Yeah, they kind of do, actually. Yeah, they kind of do take turns. It's cute. I mean, the thing is, if Bailey starts barking, Duchess doesn't bother. Unless she sees what he's barking at and then decides to join in. On the other hand, as soon as Duchess barks, Bailey's all for it and is just backing her up like, you go away, yes, yes, you tell them, you get them told, yes, go away, people, strange people, we don't want you here. It's like mean big sister and supportive baby brother. Although, something that's actually been very, very curious to me, which I think is really sweet, but kind of bittersweet all the same. Duchess and Bailey are actually starting to play with each other a little bit. Now you probably think like, oh well, don't dogs play with each other anyway. Duchess has since Oscar passed away, Duchess has always kept herself to herself and just done her own thing. And never really bothered with Bailey much. So yeah, every time that Bailey wanted to play with Duchess, Duchess just wasn't having any of it. But last night, yeah, they just started playing with each other. Like, she wasn't having a go at him. Like, she was letting him, like, jump, like pat her and, like, jump near. Because usually when he puts his paws up, that's it, she's off. She's like, no, go away, shoot, shoot. But she wasn't like this this time. So yeah. Bailey! Hold on a minute. I kind of get their attention. He's really into it. He's really into the books. He's one with the books. Still walking. Just far distance books. I think, because I don't think this level is actually going to take long, considering that when about 45 minutes in and I'm already nearly at 70%, I don't think this is going to take much longer. So I'll probably jump back into the campaign for a bit. Because I don't remember where we left everything off here. Just garden house for many people, wind gusts and bins being shut within a 30-mile radius. And car doors. Don't forget the car doors. And prams. Bikes. The postman. The window cleaner. Junk mail offenders. Birds. Cat. Of course, all importantly, other dogs. God forbid if another... Did Duchess just howl? Did Duchess just howl? Hello! Oh, that reminds me, I need to put, I have got the soundbite for the Waka Waka Woo. I have got it. I just haven't got round to doing it because I've barely been anywhere near the computer in the last couple of weeks. I knew you were going to mention it, but please, in all seriousness, don't harass me about it. I will get it done. I just haven't had the time to actually think straight, so all things considered. Alright, it will get done. Thank you. I also did promise, oh that was satisfying. I also did promise that because we did hit the goal total for the headphones, that I would play Muppet Race Mania, so I will do that as well, which is the other Muppet game I promised. It might be a one-off, that one. But we'll see. I do want to finish the main campaign for Powerwash Sim. And as much of Roller Coaster Tycoon campaign as well. Before we can play anything else. Because I've got a ton of games that I need to play. I wasn't typing it, just thinking. I know, you're fine, you're fine. I'm just good at reading minds, that's all. Yeah, ironically, I haven't played any games over the festive period. Just never really had much of a thought about it, but I do want to ask, I did find that I was told that there was actually a cozy, I think it was like a farming RPG game that's free to play, called Palia. I don't know much about it, I've got it downloaded, but if anybody's played it, is it any good? I was tempted about getting Dreamlight Valley, the Disney one, but I was waiting for ages for that to be free to play. It was like the in-game purchases instead and everything, like they did with Fall Guys and that, like release it as an actual main title and then go free to play. But then they decided that they weren't going to do that, and I was just like, oh. And it kind of put me off getting that one. Looks like you're nearly done, so I wanted to see how great it's been having you on set. Aww. What am I thinking now? How you should play Final Fantasy VII? I actually have no idea how you store all that water in that backpack of yours. It's not a backpack. It's a canister, you ding dong. Honestly, you and your gear belong in another of these movies, even set further into the future. Got you there, Dave. Got you there. Oh, speaking of games as well, what amused me was when I was last on stream, I saw Steam had a sale on for like, what was it? It was called the Capitalism Sale or something, and it was literally all like business simulators. And I just thought that was hilarious. Like making businesses or like running businesses, like campaigns like that. And it just amused me. I was like, what is this sale? Ah yes, everybody spent up. Here's some capitalism for you. Do you like capitalism? Yes, have some. It was funny to see that banner. Also, that's my kind of sale. There was actually a game that popped up on there that I thought actually would be a good game to stream, which I already have, by the way. I'm not actually intending on spending money, seeing as I actually don't have any until payday. There's a game called Turmoil. And it's basically a game where you have to strategize about digging for as much oil as you can and beating your rivals. So then you can buy land, go against your rivals again, and like try and bank up as much oil as you can, and pretty much get the monopoly of being an oil baron in the United States. Like a full-on yeehaw game. Like you get a little hat and everything. It's actually a pretty good game, but it gets complicated as you go along, which my small poo-poo brain probably couldn't deal with after a while. But could be something to play. And I think there's only a couple of pounds, couple of dollars on the Steam store as well. In hindsight, I don't think it was actually that much in the sale. But I also did see Monopoly in that sale too, which amused me. Oh, I just thought of another game. I gotta stop doing this. I also, well, actually, I think I had the mobile version, but I know it is on PC. Cluedo, or the American version of it is Clue. It's the one where you have to work out the murder based off the board game. I love that board game so much. I get my Jessica Fletcher on, it's great. Yeah, I love it. It's like one of the few board games that I know how to play and how to win. Sorry, I'm gonna get down a rabbit hole here, but I've seen online, I think it's mostly on Amazon, but there's a company that do the official board games, like official popular board games and stuff, like Monopoly, Clue, do Scrabble and all sorts, right? But the catch is, firstly, they're all the vintage versions of them, and secondly, they are designed to pack up and store into a bookcase. Like, you got your old classics, like your chess and your backgammon in there as well, of course. But yeah, they look so beautiful. So if you find them on Amazon, do check them out. They are expensive though. I think they're like $70, £70 or whatever to buy, but they are so pretty. Like, I love the aesthetic of them. Just having these little board games that you can just slot into your bookcase. Like, they look like they're like stored like books. Hold on, actually, give me a second. I'm not gonna go directly on Amazon. Online Cluedo night sometimes. Ooh. See. Oh no, they have a website. Okay, so they are on Amazon. Ooh, actually, dollars wise. Oh no, they're $40. Oh, they must be American. That's probably why they cost more British. Yeah, they're coming up as $40 on this website. But when I saw them myself on Amazon, they were coming up as $70. So I think it's just because it might have to be imported, that's why. But let me see if I can get the... It's called WS Game Company, are the people that do it. Let's see if I can get this up. Give me a second. Come on. I think OBS crashed. Come on. Okay, no, you're good, you're good. Right. There. So this is the website, WS Game Company. Like, look at this. Connect 4. Taboo. I don't know what Taboo is. Shoots and Ladders. Monopoly, sorry, chess. You get the full set for $550. Get Boggle there. Game of Life. Clue. Like, look at this. On company websites and Amazon, mix of fees, recruitment fees, which in Prime. Yeah. Like, look at this. Look at this. But no, I think it probably would be shipping included in there because that's Clue. In the UK, that's known as Cluedo. But it's so... look at it! It's like fashioned in the style of a book as well. Look at that! How good is that? I have a 1961 live, it would take some effort to make it fit on the bookshelf. There's a large board game. Oh yeah, like these are like sectioned out into 6 squares just to fit into the book for that. But they're so beautiful. They must do all sorts though. Let's have a look at the Game of Life. That one's actually a little bit more. What does that mean? I need to look at this. I need to collect all the life. Oh, do you collect versions of Game of Life, like? Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll pop the link in the chat if you want to have a look at it. Especially some weird collector's versions like this. There you go. Have fun with that. But yeah, it does look so good though. 35 different versions, hell. To be honest with you, I never heard of the Game of Life until I actually saw the game on my iPad. I was like, oh, that looks interesting. I mean, to be fair, I don't think it's as big as like Monopoly and Cluedo over here. But yeah, it's just so good. I'll have to check out the shipping and everything, but it looks so good, doesn't it? I have to, if I had to get them, I would get the Monopoly, the Scrabble and the Clue. Just because those are the 3 board games that we have here. And the 3 that I played the most. Miss Scrappington James Bury the Third. I have all the Game of Life that has pets. Oh, nice. Oh, hold on a sec. Okay, I'm back. Just trying to keep me father right. You have vintage versions of Monopoly, Blackgammon, and a version of Scrabble so old it doesn't have the recognizable Scrabble branding yet. Jesus. I've got an important Dutch version from 1985. This will be a good birthday response. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, that's the important one, Kaza. You gotta have the one with pets. Pets are important. Always important. Like, an example of this, for my mother's eulogy for the funeral, I made a very important factor of not only mentioning about a love of dogs, because of course we're doing both flowers and donations, but the donations are going to the Dogs Trust, a charity here in the UK, supporting like supporting and rehoming dogs. And what was I saying? Yeah, I said to the celebrants, like, not only do I want you to make a point about that and I love animals as well in general, but please please actually get the dogs by name, all the dogs that you owned. So yeah, they're all getting named at the funeral. Great to see. Oh, it's good to see you too, Eddie. Thank you. But yeah, I've got the monumental challenge that needs to be overcome of actually going to see her tomorrow. So today's been a little bit of a self-care day, which I'll continue on. But yeah, I wanted to do it as soon as, because if I don't do it this week, then I'll probably never get to do it, and I'll probably regret not doing it if I don't. Not for any particular reason why. I could have went next week, but it's just I felt like this week was the week to do it and just go see her. So yeah, but it's daunting because I mean, the thing is, when my grandmother's passed away, of course, when my grandma, my dad's mum, passed away, I didn't even go to the funeral because I didn't fully understand what was going on. I will admit, because still very young and very naive about stuff then. Like, I knew she passed, but, you know. Plus, the funeral was apparently was a very strange scenario, but I'll get to that in a minute. As for my nana's, my mum's mum, I did go to the funeral, but I didn't see her at rest. It was actually my mum discouraged me from going to see her because she was like, well, it's better to have the memories of her when she was alive rather than memories of her passing. But that was about 12 years ago now. God, I can't even keep up with timelines now. But yeah, it's something I feel like I should do at 33, and with it being my mum as well. Like, I wasn't there when she did pass away, so yeah. I don't mean to get onto such a heavy subject, but I mean, if anybody has been into that scenario before where they have had to see, especially a close family member before, like, only if you want to. I do appreciate any words of advice or anything that I should prepare for, or just general experiences. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Like, my dad did actually go see her first, but he's been through it before, so he does know what to experience. What's the flashing bit? Yeah. I see nothing flashing, and I don't like this. What a bit of dirt there. Oh, that bit. Okay. Cool, cool. That's the ladders. I've done my subjects because I talk about these things. Yeah. Well, that's it. I said when I came back that that I don't mind answering any questions. Of course, if they're a bit too personal, I will disclose as such. But like at the end of the day, like this shit does happen, and it is horrible. But unfortunately, it, as my mum would say, it's a part of life. Everybody has to go through it. So yeah, it's weird because with it being such, well, a natural part of life in itself, like it feels like sometimes it can be quite a taboo subject. Or like if it's like joked about or anything in jest, like people are like, oh, you know, like it's life, it does happen. Unfortunately. I mean, even my mother herself said, oh, there will be a time where I will be gone and you would have to prepare for that. I'm like, well, to be fair, I don't really want to, but yeah. That's what the type of person she was. She was just very matter of fact. What am I missing here? Cab door hinges. Where the fuck are these? Cab door hinges. Where's the hinges? Oh, these things. Oh, those are hinges. Oh, well, no, yeah, no, they do flap down, don't they? Yeah, okay. Now I've lost a pair of ladders. Shit. But yeah, if anybody has been in a position of going to like a chapel of rest or anything like that, please give me advice, please give me tips. Because honestly, I've just been filled with anxiety. As I said, I need to do it. I do need to do it. But it's just, I've never been in that position. And as grim as it is to say, I've never seen a dead body before. I know I'm laughing, I know it's my mother, but yeah, I've never been in that position before, so I'm just a bit like, yeah, great, first time I'm doing this and it's my own mother. A relationship with person, how they viewed as such I have been, I wish I did have advice. Oh, it's okay. I mean, if you don't, I mean, even just like the support in itself is alone is enough. Like, just say, yeah, good luck. Godspeed. Stuff like that is appreciated, or hugs. I need to like thinking about it all, but my pops is 70, so I gotta start prepping whether I like it or not. Yeah. Well, this is the thing, like, I kind of knew from a young age that like shit's gonna hit the fan just because I did have older parents. Like, right, no age talk about yourselves in particular. Just a heads up. Family members are fine. But not yourselves, please. Just a heads up. But yeah, my mum was 71. It's Chapel of Rest, like a funeral home. Funeral home. You don't usually have, because I know, of course, with some in some places they do things differently. Here in the UK, it would be that the body, you go to the Chapel of Rest to visit, and it would have there's a morgue at the hospital, the Chapel of Rest with the funeral directors. Once that time's passed and the funeral comes, of course, you can have an open coffin or a closed coffin at the ceremony, but then after that, the wake is just for the family and everything. The body would stay with, of course, it would be it would be buried or cremated after that. But you would have to book an appointment to go see, because they would have to bring the body into the room. And one thing I was told when she passed was that, because they asked us if we wanted to see her in hospital, and I said I wasn't sure what to do, but I was told, don't go then, go when she's at the funeral direct. These dogs, honestly, they've done nothing but bark for like the last half hour. Give us a minute. Actually, I'll put you guys on break for 5, okay? Go stretch, go water, go eat, go medicate. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, I'm knackered. Right. They're okay. I think they're just getting a little too attentive out the window there. A little too much out the window. But we good. Drive wheels. Drive wheels? Okay, as far as I know, the equivalent of people coming to visit call a week, or more simply, a lot of people call it a viewing. Yeah. Oh, hello. Have you chilled your boots yet? Are you coming in? No, you're just being nosy. Okay. You just poked in, observed, and left. And he's woofing again. I swear he just does it for the attention. But no, when we have a wake, it's usually after the funeral. The way that we do it is that it's usually goes chapel of rest, funeral, well, a journey to the funeral, then you have the wake after, and the wake is usually like food and drinks after, where you, of course, just like, you know, just have a moment just to reflect and just chat to family and friends and stuff. So it's, the wakes over here are different. So it's like you could have it at a club, like a social club, you could have it at pub, or any kind of venue really that does like food and drinks. Yeah, so like think of it like how you have a wedding. So, and I know it's complete opposite, but think of it like how you have a wedding. You have the morning of wedding where you prep and get ready and everything, or like before the wedding, pre-wedding, and then you have the ceremony, you get married, and then you have like the food, and then you have like the reception. And then you have the evening do later. Not so much of the evening do. It's a little bit like... taking the evening do out, it's a little bit like the reception after the wedding. But not as formal. It's more like, rather than having like a set meal and drinks and stuff, it's basically you just get together, chat, speak to people, thank them for coming and stuff like that. Where are these rods? What am I looking for? Oh, that! Okay. Sure. Crankshafts. Sure. Yeah. But one thing that's been interesting is just like the difference in cultures, because with my brother and sister-in-law, with them working and living out in the Middle East, they do things differently over there. So you don't usually tend to get bereavement for a workplace, because the way that they tend to do it is that they actually do I don't know full specifics, I will be honest with you, but I have known that in some areas of the Middle East they'll have open funeral pyres. But usually they just, of course, they would do it in a matter of a couple of days after somebody's passed, so you don't usually get anything like bereavement leave, like, of course, we do. Which is why it's been difficult for them to get time off. I've been allowed it, but only so many days, so it's literally they're here for a few, like they arrive, they're here for a couple of days, the funeral happens, and they're literally flying the very next day. Mallet pads, what am I don't even know these technical terms. I am not a smart woman. Oh, these things, little paddle boards. They look like little paddle boards. And then wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flux field regulators, I'm guessing these are at the front. No. Flux field regulators. The viewing, sometimes it's on the same day as the funeral, sometimes multiple days, but on the funeral day there's a viewing, escort a procession to a church, the one a procession to a cemetery for a burial. Sometimes people will rent out a restaurant nearby or back to the funeral home for food and drinks, but it's not called anything. Ah. Yeah, so that last bit with the restaurant, that we refer to that as a wake. But we don't usually tend to do a viewing on the day of the ceremony. That's where the directors come in. So with the funeral directors, the body gets taken to them, and that's where you do the viewing with there. If I pry too much, feel free to let me know. I get fascinated by cultural difference. No, actually, I'm fascinated too. So no harm done. It's good to talk about these things. Honestly, as I said, it should be normalized to like discuss it more openly, because it is life. It is a part of life, you know? So it just makes sense to. And I mean, if people do feel like this is helping as well in their own personal circumstances as well, that's great. That's what I'm hoping for, because the truth is nothing ever prepares you for this kind of stuff. Like, oh, I'm shutting the door here. That little guy is barking way too much. So I've had 3 big deaths in my life. And that was, of course, the 3 that I mentioned. My grandmother, my dad's mum, my nana, my mum's mum, and, of course, my mum. And my grandma, because her death took us quite for a shock, because she was diagnosed with other health ailments, but she actually died of cancer. But she was misdiagnosed because it was ovarian cancer, which is it was hard to detect at that time. So she was in the hospital for 2 weeks before she passed. My nana, she too had cancer. In fact, all 3 deaths were cancer related, sadly. My nana's was a little bit more self-inflicted because she'd been a long time smoker. But she was diagnosed later in life. She had the operation, chemotherapy, radiotherapy. She's had a lot. Surprisingly, she kept all of her hair, but she did lose her eyelashes, I think my mum said that she lost. But nonetheless, she was in remission for 5 years before the cancer came back, but she deteriorated so slowly because of other health ailments as well. So she deteriorated over the case of 2 years. Well, it was much longer than that, but the majority of her time, she was basically bedbound for the best part of 2 years. And my mum, I don't even think she was even 2 weeks. Like, she'd been slowly failing, like looking back on things now, the cancer was looking like it was taking hold, but it was like literally, she was taken to the hospital and she just deteriorated since then. And that was in the space of about 10 days. Like, in those instances, nothing ever prepares you for it, no matter how long or how quick it happens. And when they say about the 5 stages of grief, they are right, but it doesn't come as stages. It comes as like, it's more like a little bit less as phases and a little bit more like slaps in the face. 1 minute, like, you could like wake up in the morning, you could be feeling good, and you'll be absolutely fine for like the first 2-3 hours, and then 4th hour comes and you're sitting on the kitchen floor crying your heart out because you don't know how to cook something and your mum knew how to cook it best. But that's not actually what happened to me, by the way, just as an example. And then the next minute you feel like angry because you question why her, why did this happen to her, like what could have been done differently, why did they miss it out and everything, like questioning that for like 2 hours. Then the next half hour you could be sobbing again, and then the rest of the day could be fine. Like, it just comes in waves. Like, I'll probably say the best way to describe it is a little bit less like stages and a little bit more like changes in the weather. And I don't know where the fuck this thing is. So yeah, sorry that was a little bit ranty there, but as I said, it's just, everybody is different, but that's the one thing I've found has been the most common thing, is the fact that it's never as straightforward as like in stages. I'm looking for a board. That's a run board. Run board, wing panel, drive wheel well. The stage degrees are pretty rigidly defined, but psychology can rigidly define brains pretty well, and brains do whatever they feel like and don't follow the books. Oh god, yeah. You are not wrong there. Oh, that, okay, I am done. That's what I was looking for, I think, wasn't it? Front board, no, that wasn't what I was looking for, but it still needs cleaning anyway, so that's fine. Signal lamp. Lamp. What am I even looking for again? Front board. Paneling. House skylight, sand dome. Sand dome? Sure. It says front board. It should be flashing and I can't see shit. Like, where is this thing? Front board railing. Run board. Steam chest front board. Oh, this thing. Oh, that's why I couldn't see, because it's literally this piddly little ass wipe of a wire that's right in front of it. Right, got it. Okay. Yeah, no two brains work the same, so talking about stages of grief, just... Definitely not in stages. Definitely not in stages. I thought I cleaned you. But yeah, it sucks. Piddly little ass wipe of a wire. What can I say? Creative with my insults. You, right? Yeah. The only thing I would really say is, I mean, my tips would be is that if anybody does go through any kind of loss, hoping nobody does anytime soon, thankfully. But if anybody that does go through those stages, the first tip I would say would be, first of all, be kind to yourself. How you react to everything, you shouldn't never beat yourself up about it, okay? Because it's only natural. And if other people do beat you up about it, then fuck them, okay? Your feelings are valid. And shit like this will take time to heal, especially if it's a close relationship like I did with my mum. Second of all, I know this is going to sound like a stupid one, but this is something that I have found that works. When, I mean, as I said, everybody's different, so what might work for one person might not for another. But in my case, I found the baking, the cooking, to actually be really, really helpful. I'll tell you why. So, for the first good couple of days, I completely lost my appetite. I didn't want to eat. And then I had that wave of inspiration because my mum wanted to bake, where I just thought, you know what would be really healing is just to do stuff that she wanted to do, which was, of course, bake, as being one of them. So I decided to do it. Just start with like a small recipe, and of course I made the apple crumble. That really did help, and I know it sounds stupid, but the first reason why it helped is because, you know, it keeps you busy. It keeps your mind off things, it keeps you busy, it keeps you doing something. Second reason why is that because, of course, once you created something, you want to kind of, it gives you that little satisfaction of success. Because everybody likes achievement. And the third reason I say bake is because when you've got fresh food, it does actually work up your appetite. Like, whether it's baking, cooking, whatever, like the smell of freshly cooked stuff will kind of hit you, and you will be tempted to actually want to try it, especially if you've made it all by yourself from scratch. Does definitely help. So as I said, not everybody's into it, but that's probably my tip, is that just try like a small recipe. Even if you're just feeling down and like depressed and stuff, like if you don't really feel like doing anything, make that your one goal of the day, and it does kind of help. One motherfucker. Value and funerals and many of my wife's family is much closer, but does much less when it comes to funeral celebration. Means anything per se, because everyone is different, just something that big. Much closer, but does much less when it comes to funeral celebrations of life. I don't think it means anything per se, because everyone is different, just something to become aware of over time. Yeah, I mean, funny enough, is that smoke box railing? Where is that? One of my dad's brothers worked as a funeral director, and he's been really, really resourceful in giving tips and advice to help my dad and I arrange the funeral for her. And what's even funnier is the fact that the funeral directors that we're working with actually know him as well. They've been like asking, oh, is he gonna be at the funeral? And we're like, yeah, he's gonna be there. So, yeah, he said that everybody is different in how they want to, or how much or how little of a deal they want to make the funerals. And he said he's seen one funeral where they've literally came in, said the prayers, said well wishes, and just went, and that was it. Like, they didn't make a big fuss of it, didn't make a big deal. There was very little celebration about it. But it's just what they wanted in the funeral. They just wanted it to be just short, sweet, and just done. And that's fair. Like, not everybody wants to go through all the fuss and menagerie of a funeral. I mean, personally we do, because my mum was such a grand person. Like, for a 5-foot woman, she was a powerhouse. Like, she was a massive social butterfly. She knew so many people, and she was such a character that it would just be wrong not to, you know? But yeah, I mean, some people these days don't even bother. Some people just go crack on with the cremation bit and just celebrate in other ways. But I think it just depends on what, because the way that we did the funeral, we did it with her in mind, like what would she would have wanted, because she had plans of arranging her funeral and getting the payments done for it, and she never did get round to it. Which is the worst bit. So literally, because she had plans on arranging it and never got round to it, we literally went in blind. Go on, do the thing, do the thing. Whee! Oh, what happens to ladders? What happens to ladders? Poof! And gone. I love the fact that the... yeah, okay. I love this DLC, it's great. Another outstanding job, thank you. I'll admit I was skeptical that such a thing as Power Washer would be good for us, but you've been terrific through the production of all 3 films. I'll put the word out for you. Who knows, there may be more productions in contact with you one day. Ooh. Thanks a lot and all the best. Ooh, let's hope so. You know my predictions, my hope for Ghostbusters 1. Hell yeah. Look, we did it. We did it. We did all of the things. But let us... Oh, this one. Okay, yeah, let's finish this one. It's the temple one. I'm gonna keep going with the campaign now. Let's get back into it. Methinks. No, I don't want to know my activity. I know I haven't done my exercise ring. Fuck off. Stop taunting me. Oh. Oh god, my brother's trying to call me. I don't know, it's his birthday. Oh. I'll ring him after. I'll ring me brother after. I'll ring him after stream. It's fine. I know it's his birthday. Oh. Actually, I said it would kind of... Actually, there was something that I need to go back on. Okay. Okay, so what I mentioned about my grandma's funeral, apparently we didn't actually have any control over it. Because apparently if you're Jehovah's Witness, like my grandmother was, they actually do the funeral planning for you. But what sucks is that apparently nobody knows where my grandmother is buried. Like, they know which graveyard she's at, but they don't know exactly where her grave is. Or even if she has one. What's Jehovah's Witness? It's Jehovah's... What, you mean like the faith? Didn't tell... Well, if I remember rightly from what was said, they planned a lot of it out, so they even planned it down to the plot and everything. But, no, not really. In general, well, Jehovah's Witness is a type of... It's a... I don't know how best to describe it because it is a religious faith. And I think it kind of does stem from Christianity. But it's more so that they believe in the faith of Jehovah rather than a specific god. I honestly don't know the full details of it. And I don't want to impose on it, tread on any toes with regards to it, because personally I find it a little, it's basically a little bit like Mormonism. In that it does come across as a little culty, but basically my grandma fell into it not long after my granddad died. On the persuasion of some friends who were Jehovah's Witnesses. It's a subsect of Catholicism. I don't know what it originally emerged from. I know that much. Yeah. Yeah, it's not something I particularly agree with. But yeah, it is kind of like it's hard to describe because it is Artrax is right. It is based off like Catholicism, Christianity as like a subsector, but it's just that there's so much persuasion and motive in trying to get people to follow as much as possible. Like literally go into the city centers and there's people standing there with stands full of the Watchtower, which is like their magazine, their religious magazine that they use, of course, about like updates and faith and belief and stuff. Kind of like a religious newsletter of sorts. Of the whole thing being pretty secretive of those that are not members of their faith, so it's hard to know. Yeah. It has been a bit of a bugbear in the past. There's a few religions like that, though, so not just jab at them. Yeah, oh no. I mean, my family kind of get it. My mum has been at loggerheads with my grandmother talking to me and my brother about it in the past. Like saying like, oh, I don't mind them hanging out with you, but can we just dial it back down a little bit with the face stuff? But yeah, it's a weird one. I will admit, it's like Jehovah's Witnesses in general, just from the perspective of somebody who doesn't really follow religion at all. But I do know a couple of things, and one of the big things is blood transfusions, because of the belief that it impurifies the blood. So it's like if somebody needed a life-saving operation, well, it makes for a very complex kind of scenario because of it. But they do do the whole door-to-door thing as well, like Mormonism does. But yeah, I am actually wanting to one day actually go to the graveyard and actually find out where she is buried. If she is. It's just a bit of a journey to get there, that's all. But one day I'll do it. But no, I'm gonna change the subject now because I just wanted to just make a point about that, because it's just, if you don't know about Jehovah's Witnesses, it's a ride reading up about some of the stuff. Oh, give me a minute. You have a subject? Yeah. I was actually going to ask a question I asked on last stream, but go for it if you want to throw out a subject. I'm open for requests, as long as you don't get me to sing. Not sure if you heard the recent news about Tetris. Oh, is this about the kids, the kid that actually beat Tetris? Because I have heard about that. Oh, give me a second. Give me 2 minutes, guys. Sorry. I'm just gonna put you guys back on break. Okay, crisis averted. I'll put you back to the game. Yeah, how old is that kid? No, I thought a parcel had turned up. It turned out I just got a notification saying it was going to arrive before 7:30 tonight. That was it. But yeah, a kid beat Tetris. I don't think he was that old, was he? Headphones, are you doing this again? Yeah, you are. Arsehole, get back on. I did charge them, they're just being temperamental. "13 is first person to beat Tetris in the game, 34 years being out." Oof. Not amongst what they felt if they returned to their temple completely caked in cow excrement. Not that great, I don't think. I mean, for anyone, you'd see it as a sign, right? And plus, it was cool seeing him in a tournament on Twitch Saturday. Oh, nice. Oh, hey, speaking of Twitch-related stuff, they've announced TwitchCon for 2014 and 2015. It looks like they're going to do a double whammy in the same places this time. Which actually I think is a pretty good idea, because then it means that, like, if people want to come but can't afford it this year, then it means that they can prep for the following year, which is good. Brother is on the East Coast. No. San Diego, isn't it? But they've done the Europe one. They're doing in Amsterdam, which I think they did the last time. I need Sarah to confirm because Sarah actually went to the last one. I think because Sarah did a Europe tour. She did a couple of places, and Amsterdam was one of them. It was supposed to be Amsterdam before the pandemic hit, because I remember that one Twitch streamer who did the IRL streams backpacking all the way to Amsterdam, only for them to find out that it'd been cancelled because of the pandemic. Like literally like days away from actually arriving in Amsterdam and everything. I wonder what happened to them. I wonder if they actually redid it or what. Because that must suck, travelling all that I mean, to be fair, on one hand, I mean, they did get the experience of travelling pre-COVID. But it must suck to go all that way only to find out that you're just getting turned away back. Right when you're about to complete your challenge. Good arcade games are only 16-bit, you know, there's someone trying to overflow error 32 or 64, but system and it's basically not possible. Ooh. Does anybody know who I mean? The streamer that did the backpacking. I'm very curious to find out what they actually did in the end. I mean, of course, they would have had to go back, but at the same time, I wonder if they did actually do it again. Not familiar with them? No, I'm pretty sure if there was like a Google search done. Tell you what. I'll do the work. I'll do the work. Right. Which streamer TwitchCon, it was 2020, wasn't it? Oops, that's not a 0. Oh, that was one too many 2s. Good cube sounds, thanks. Yeah, no, I can't find anything about them again, but yeah, I remember they got a few days away from Amsterdam. I think, God, where did they travel from? I think they traveled through about like 3 or 4 different countries, if I remember rightly. They went through... God damn it! They went through quite a few countries, like France and... was it France? Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm actually starting to get a bit of a bad head, so I don't know how much longer I'm actually going to be at this before it pisses me off. Did it come from the east of Europe? I don't remember. But yeah, anyway, that happened. I don't know what happened to the guy. But yeah, he had to go back. Cause plan failed. Parkour. Okay, I'm on some kind of a roll here. Let me uppies. So my question that I had was the one from last stream. I was talking about, of course, like remakes and stuff, like remakes of movies. So just to reflect back on that, is there any movie that you've watched where you actually thought the remake was better than the original? And if so, what was it? My personal answer for this was Miracle on 34th Street, because for years I actually did not know that it was a remake, and I actually did watch, albeit it was some of the original. It didn't quite have the same vibe as the remake, which of course was very heavily John Hughes inspired, with of course it being a John Hughes film. And of course I had Richard Attenborough as well, and Mara Wilson and that, and just absolutely loved it. Still love it to this day. But yeah, because everybody always shits on the remakes and everything. Also, adding to that as well, it turns out that the new version of Mean Girls, you know, the version that is a musical but is that not many people are aware was a musical. Apparently not that great. Apparently the songs are very lackluster in comparison to the actual musical songs. So, can't think of one, really? Nothing at all? Rats was all about June. But then again, Rats is a massive June fan anyway. Not the remake of the movie, but a new adaptation of. Heard very mixed reviews. Yeah. But effectively, it kind of is in a way because it is following the same platform and the same storyline as the original with just a few tweaks. So technically, I think it would count as a remake. From personal opinion, anyway. I would deem it as a remake. Especially considering they were marketed as a remake and not as a musical per se. Because it didn't actually show any musical elements in the trailer. I think maybe the Spider-Man movies would probably count in there as remakes. Well, I don't know, actually. I mean, it's supposed to get rebooted every 5 minutes anyway. Those movies. Same with the X-Men ones as well, actually. Would they count as remakes? Because technically they're following the same format each time, just with a few minor, well, a few major tweaks here and there. But still essentially following the same plot line of, oh, Peter Parker lives with aunt and uncle, nobody knows what happened to his mum and dad. Oh no, Ben dies. Oh no, Peter becomes bitten by radioactive spider. Oh shit, he's climbing the walls. Oh no, whatever will we do? Oh, he's using his power for the good of responsibility or something like that. With the MCU, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, to be fair, MCU, there's not really a lot of them that have been redone, but mainly the Spider-Man, the X-Men movies, because there's been 2 adaptations of X-Men. Of course, there was the very first one in the early 2000s, and there was one where it's based off being in the 70s in the Cold War. Then there was Spider-Man, in which there is Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and Tom Holland Spider-Man. And then, of course, they all collectively hugged it out in the last of the Tom Holland ones. And then everybody forget who it was. It's cool. Like one Captain America, the first Avenger, physical. I guess that does kind of count. I think I know what you mean. I guess that does kind of count. Because it's still very much same format, same characters. Just a new version of it. So I guess it does kind of count. I would say it does anyway. I don't know about you guys. I actually never thought about the MCU movies up until today. Super Mario Bros. Movie got like a new thing. That's a very good question. Now, the only thing I would say about that, and I think the same would apply for the Grinch as well, is that one is an IRL adaptation, whereas the other is an animated one. So I don't know if that would still count, but I guess maybe. Hi, chiming in at Lurk mentioned perhaps written material, Miracle on 34th, X-Men and other comics. Yeah, the Grinch also got, because there was a version with Jim Carrey, and then there's the animated version with Benedict Cumberbatch. So what do you, a remake or just a new written source material? Well, I think if it strictly follows the plot line, then yes, I would consider it as a remake. Or even loosely, if it's following the same format. Like, remake and separate adaptation. Jim Carrey's birthday was yesterday. Ooh, nice. Separate adaptation, yeah. So like with a Christmas Carol, I mean, to be fair, Christmas Carol, I don't know actually. I suppose you got a point there, Rex. I mean, I would say in the case of Mean Girls, yes, it is a remake because it is literally following the exact same format, that exact same plot line. The only difference is that there's small minor changes and of course the inclusion of musical numbers. But for the most part, the plot line is the same. I would probably say maybe stuff like the MCU stuff as mentioned, and that probably wouldn't count because it is following the similar format, but it's not like for like. It's just a different adaptation. How many times it's come out in the past few years is direct because DC didn't like it and wanted to try again. Yeah. So like Miracle on 34th Street is literally like for like. The exact same. Just more modernized. Mean Girls, like for like, just the difference is the inclusion of small changes in musical numbers. But then the MCU stuff is kind of more of an adaptation because it's not strictly following the exact same format. Yes, there's about 3 Spider-Men who all get bitten by spiders and their uncle dies. Nothing really changes there. But they're all like different plot lines for like introductory. So like, of course, the first one, Tobey Maguire's, the first villain was the Green Goblin. First one for, was it Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man? There was a villain in the Amazing Spider-Man again. And the first one for Tom Holland's was the Vulture. I don't remember who was it. Oh no, it was the Lizard. The Lizard for Andrew Garfield's. So of course it has similar format but different villains. And sadly, none of them really had a good stable plot with Venom. Which sucked ass. Because let's be honest, the closest was Tobey Maguire's, and that actually really didn't get touched upon much. Because it had Venom and other villains in there. Sorry, I'm just sorry about that because I liked Venom at the time, and I think there would have been something good there, but they never pulled on that. Really? Dave? Comes to theatre to become a movie, I would say Big Fish is better as a movie. Stories lend themselves well to movie scene. Legally Blonde is pretty great either way though. Yeah, I've heard good things about the Legally Blonde musical. And you know what? I will be honest with you, I've only seen it in parts. But that Legally Blonde is the one movie where my perception of what the movie is about has completely changed. Like, too depressed. Okay, fair. I'll allow it. I'll accept that, Dave. I'll accept it. But no, Legally Blonde, like, at first, like, on surface level, you think of it as, like, complete bimbo, try hard, goes to college to become a lawyer because of a guy. And you think, okay, yeah, that's exactly what it is. No. Oh, no. Legally Blonde is all about perceptions at face value. Because yes, you've got this complete bimbo, but she's an incredibly intelligent woman at the same time. And looks should not be perceived at first face value. And just because somebody really likes to wear pink and gets glammed up and everything does not make them any less intelligent than the next person. So I thought, get the whole thing cleaned off, say the Twisted Gate of Temple some kind of sacred hose down instead. Sure. A secret little miracle just between the two of us. Sure. Wait. Let's go knock that gnome off. But yeah. It just shows that, you know, you can be a girly girl and be a girl's girl and be an empowered woman at the same time. You know? Like, fuck stereotypical perceptions. Because life's too short for that kind of shit. Be who you want to be. Be your best self. You're a lot Legally Blonde is definitely much better now than was at very younger stage and watched it. Only seen the 6. Exactly, yes. Yeah, so you can get your nails done, your hair done, wear those fake eyelashes, and it doesn't make you any less of an intelligent person. You can still boss it at being a lawyer, or a doctor, or a scientist. Like, another example of that, I've seen loads of TikToks of nail technicians, like, showing off the nails that they do in the professions, and loads of them are in high-profile jobs. Like, literal scientists, lawyers, accountants, all with, like, these really, like, glittery, sparkly, cute-looking nails and everything, and it's like, oh my god. Honestly, it kind of makes me feel a bit jealous because I would love to wear acrylics. I just can't. Because I'm just not used to, like, having fake nails on top of nails. I'm better with gels. Sorry, I know I'm getting onto girly girl mode, but I don't care. Because having my nails done is fun. Even though I have no nails, they keep splitting. Don't like it. I think I'm gonna have to call it a day. I know I'm so close to finishing this one, but my back is absolutely ruined. So I'm gonna find that gnome actually. Where did you go, buddy? Where did you go? Where did you... Where did you go? Eh? I shot the gnome off. He fell. Where did he go? It's alright, it's alright. I mean, to be fair, I debated whether to stream or not because my back was hurting anyway. If anything, actually, you guys have helped actually clear a bad head. So thank you for that. Because I think I've got a touch of sinusitis. Right, so you fell down there. But where did you go? We're up here. And then you shot down. So you would have went down this way? I've lost the gnome, guys. Oh shit. I've lost the gnome? How do you lose a gnome? Also, that's floating. Does he go with... No, he's supposed to fall to the ground and you should be able to collect them. But I genuinely have no idea where he went. He has actually disappeared. I think he glitched out. Oh shit. Oops. Well, we'll get him back in the next one. Anyway, I'm gonna call it a day. Even our band probably, don't my luck, he probably will be. Oh, stretch. Let's see who's doing what. Oh, I will get your raid commands. I forgot. I'm modless today, so I'll get the raid commands up. Just in preparation there for you guys. I think we could raid roll, actually. Don't often get roll popping up in the past. What it's doing, it's some cats. Hell yeah. Oh, doing characters, I think from Has Been Hotel. But yeah, let's do a roll raid. Let me prep some stuff up here so we can do. But yeah, we've got the Back to the Future DLC done. Which is cool stuff. Oh, thank you, Kiona. You guys have a good rest of your day too. I'm gonna try and get myself back on at the weekend. With brother and sister-in-law back, I don't know if I can promise stuff, but I will try. And yeah, I will do my best to get back on as soon as let you know how things went, how things go tomorrow. But until then, so long, and thanks for all the fish. Bye!
The last ever dolphin message was misinterpreted as a surprisingly sophisticated attempt to do a double backward somersault through a hoop while whistling the Star-Spangled Banner. But in fact, the message was this: so long, and thanks for all the fish.